What's going on, people? A question I get asked very frequently, and I mean very frequently, is why I don't play Bowser in Ultimate. People ask, oh, if you love Bowser so much, why don't you play Bowser in Ultimate? He's actually a good character in Ultimate. And I can understand the thought process behind asking me this, and I usually respond with, I don't like Bowser in Ultimate. He's lame, Ultimate is too easy, yada yada, etc., etc. But I'm here to explain why I don't like Bowser in Ultimate, and why I think he's even designed just a little bit poorly, in my opinion. Keep in mind that this video is just like 100% opinion. It's okay to disagree with me on this. I'm just here to state my thoughts and answer people's questions. So the first thing I don't really like about Ultimate Bowser is his model and his animations. Now, in Melee, he is like a monster. He hunches over, he looks dirty, he's really big, he looks very muscular. He looks like a very strong turtle, like a vicious monster. And in Ultimate, he retains some of those qualities, but he definitely looks less intimidating. Like, now, of course, this is just an opinion, but to me, he's just much less intimidating in Ultimate. And I gotta say, I prefer the old style of Bowser. The Bowser that hunches over and bites his victims' faces off. It's what Sakurai envisioned Bowser to be like. Now, I think in future iterations, they didn't want Bowser to be as violent as he was in Melee, and so they toned him down a lot by making his animations a little bit less brutal, and by making his character model a bit less intimidating, and I'm not a fan of that change at all, really. Now, I'm just here to say again, this is all personal preference. It's okay to disagree. I'm just stating my thoughts, my opinions. It's not a fact. Now, I do like Bowser's model in Ultimate. I do think it's a very good model. It's not rendered poorly or anything. I'm just a fan of the old design. Now, I did mention that his animations in Ultimate were much less brutal, much less vicious. The most notable example of this, and while this is a total move change, is Side B. In Melee, Bowser grabs you and chomps your face off. It's a very brutal, vicious move, and a very awesome one at that. But in Ultimate, he literally just grabs you, jumps, slams into the ground, and it's much less violent. In real life, I would be more scared if he held on to me and just bit me over and over again. It is personal preference, and I just want you to keep this in mind. I know I'm saying it a lot, but I want you to keep it in mind that it's personal preference. Another example of an animation that was really toned down is his up air. In Melee, the animation was much, much slower, with the hitbox coming out on frame 22, whereas in Ultimate it comes out on frame 9, I think. So it's more than twice as fast in Ultimate. And in my opinion, the faster speed makes it look less deadly, less intimidating. Now I'm going to move on from that, and I'm going to talk about Bowser's attributes in Ultimate. Now, Bowser's attributes in Melee are just not stellar. An 8-frame jump squat is just like, oh god, it's horrendous. Having the worst initial dash, worst jump squat, worst empty landing lag. They just gave Bowser so many things to make him worse than the rest of the cast in Melee. And to be honest, I kind of like it. It makes him unique. It makes him different, even if it also makes him worse along the way, too. It's just, I like it when characters are different. Now, the main reason why I play Engineer in TF2 and Ice Climbers in Ultimate are because they're very unique characters that can be played in a multitude of ways. And I think it's just really cool. I like playing characters that are unique. It's not just specific to Smash. And so that's why I kind of dislike that Bowser has good attributes in Ultimate. He's very fast. He is a very fast character. I think he's in like the top 20 fastest characters. Considering there's 85 characters in the game, that is just like really fast. It doesn't make sense. He also has a 3-frame jump squat, which I know is universal in Ultimates, but I think it would just make much more sense for him to have like a 4 or even 5-frame jump squat, and also maybe a little bit more landing lag too. I just wish they had more, unique attributes in Ultimate, especially when it comes to Bowser. Now, there's one attribute in particular that I am really just like, I just have a hatred for it, and that's his tough guy mechanic. If you don't play Ultimate, Bowser's tough guy is a feature specific to him where he can just outright ignore like weak moves such as rapid jabs, multi hits. It's just a mess, really, and it makes some moves just flat out not work on Bowser. An example of this is an Ice Climbers combo that just flat out doesn't work on Bowser because the hits of a Blizzard are too weak. Tough Guy just completely goes through it. The reason I don't like this mechanic very much is because it makes some things just feel unearned and a little bit cheesy at times. I once saw a clip of Bowser just down smashing Pikachu through a neutral air, and I shook my head at it. It just made me cringe, honestly. So I want to talk about Bowser's moves as well. Now, I've mentioned his animations, and I've already talked about side B and up air. But there are a few moves I wanted to talk about. In Melee, Bowser's back air, he stabs people behind him with his shell. He just kind of does a weird stretch, and he stabs the opponents behind him using his shell. Now, this move, not only does it look awesome and more intimidating than his ultimate back air, which is just a kick behind him, this move is actually just as good, if not better, than his ultimate back air, because the speed is the same, but his melee back air has a slightly better hitbox to it. It sends them at an absolutely brutal angle. It actually semi-spikes fast fallers, and sends floaty characters almost horizontally. It's like seriously almost as sharp. It's like seriously almost as flat as Sheik's forward air angle. It's really good. The only thing that Bowser's ultimate back air is better at is killing. And this move, like Ultimate's Bowser back air, is so good at killing. It's an aerial smash attack pretty much. Another move I want to talk about is his down smash. In Ultimate, I would say it's actually less useful than his melee down smash, but less useful doesn't necessarily mean worse. Bowser's down smash in melee can start combos, kill, and even edgeguard in a few niche situations. Now, Bowser's ultimate down smash just can't do as much as it can in melee, but it does it better. The thing I don't like about Bowser's ultimate down smash is that it's just so generic. In Melee, it's really cool. He gets in his shell and he spins around. It's a multi-hit that sends upwards. I think it's really cool. It's a really cool move, and it is just an opinion, but I like it a lot more than his ultimate down smash, which is just a pretty generic forward and behind move. Now, I don't dislike everything about Ultimate Bowser. I do like that he's a good character. It is a thing that I do genuinely appreciate, but I would play him if he was just like... Now, I know this sounds weird, but I would play him if he was just like... if he didn't have as much of the gimmicks as he did. Now, to summarize things up, I'm really not a fan of Bowser's like overall visual design. I do like it, but I prefer his melee design by far. And additionally, some of his moves, his moveset, in my opinion, I think in Melee is cooler, a lot more sick as well. He can get actually better combos in Melee than he can in Ultimate. Now, I know some Ultimate players might not believe me, but Bowser's combo game isn't as bad as people think it is. He has several decent combo starters, like his down smash and his dash attack. Now, that's going to be it. I might remake this video, but have it be scripted instead so it can state my opinions better, because I didn't feel like I did explain my opinions well in this video, although I felt like I could have explained them a little bit better. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.